So, Smith & Wesson 686 Plus or Colt Python, which do you choose? These are two 2.5-inch barrel 357 Magnum medium frame revolvers, and they are about stock and trade for what Smith & Wesson and Colt now makes. So, we're going to go ahead and compare them. Even though it's going to be a little bit unfair and a little bit biased, at least we'll get the idea of what's going on. Let's take a close-up look at them.
This is the 2020 Colt Python. This one has a 2.5-inch barrel, and it comes with the factory walnut grips. It features a serrated trigger and has the distinctive full underlug under the barrel, as well as a vent rib on top. It also has the same clamshell cylinder release that shows up on previous Colt models, in which you have to pull back in order to release the cylinder. This is a 686 Plus, also with a 2.5-inch barrel, and we are shooting it as it comes from the factory with its stock Hogue grips. It has a smooth face trigger, and it too has a full underlug to control the recoil of the 357 Magnum. It features adjustable sights that are similar to the Colt. Last but not least, the 686 has a push-forward cylinder release and that evil key lock where the sole of the gun exits to go in the purgatory. Of course, the 686 Plus denotes it as having a 7-round capacity over the Python 6, but the difference in cylinder width comes down to less than 1/10 of an inch.
The Colt Python has a square butt, walnut grips, and it has a cylinder release that goes to the rear rather than pushing forward. You pull back, have your cylinder release, and have your 6 rounds, and a rather short ejector rod despite the fact that it comes all the way out to the muzzle there. Otherwise we have fixed sights, and like the Smith & Wesson 686, it is double action, single action. You can cock the hammer for single action, or you can just pull all the way through for double action. The double action trigger pull in this one is about 5 pounds 10 ounces. It's very smooth with a good bit of stacking. It starts out really light and then it gets heavier and heavier, and bang, there you go. The single action is actually about the same amount of weight, but it feels less so. Now the 686 Plus comes with a round butt and these Hogue rubber grips, but with these taken off, the Python and the 686 Plus are almost dimensionally the same, but we'll go over the differences real quick. You can see with the 686 Plus we have a push forward cylinder release and a short ejector rod because this is a snub nose 357. Got a smooth face trigger and a relatively small hammer compared to the Colt Python, but again, you can cock for a single action, and the single action is about 3 pounds 11 ounces. It's quite light, and the double action is a little bit heavier than the Python, but it starts out light, it gets heavier, and then suddenly it gets a lot lighter, and bang, there we go. Double action pull is about 8 pounds, but otherwise that's it for the 686 Plus. Let's see them together. You can see that the Colt Python cylinder is a little bit shorter, but the recoil shield is a little bit thicker. Barrel is of the same thickness, and we have a target crown on the Colt Python, but we do not on the 686 Plus. Okay, I haven't shot both of these in a while. We'll start with the 686 Plus and just put it on paper with some 38 Special center pressure loads. I have a target at 7 yards. Let's see how it does. We're going to go in double action. Not bad. To change the angles, go with the Python. one last round.
On the left is my group with the Smith, and on the right, the Colt.
Okay, I have the Colt Python loaded up with some Remington HTP 125 grain jacketed hollow points. These are the 357 Magnum rounds, and they're pretty stout, even with these 2.5-inch barrels out of both of these revolvers. This load is still coming out around 1,350 feet per second for about 500 or so foot-pounds of energy, so quite a bit of whooping. So we'll go ahead and give it a go. Same drill, 7 yards. You can tell the difference. A short ejector rod does not want to quite kick out these empties, but that's the same with any snub nose 357. Now let's do the 686. Now we're talking about the biased and unfair part of this review. Well, the 686, I really want to put some wood grips on it. I haven't got any of those in yet because they've been on back order, so I'm sticking with the factory grips, which give me a little more support, but we'll see how well it helps or how hard it is even with this advantage. So give it a go. I have a little more to hold on to, but in terms of recoil, in terms of actual pain when the round goes off, well, I really don't notice the difference. I just have a little bit more to hold on to, get back on target.
Now on the left is the Colt, and on your right is a 686 Plus. I favor to the right with the Smith, but the group sizes are a wash. Before we get back to shooting, let's dive a little deeper. I admit preferring the Colt a little bit because I am big on Safariland speed loaders. They offer loaders for the Colt, but I'm out of luck with the 7-shot Smith. I also want to show you each revolver on how they look on the inside. The Python is a modest redesign of the original, and it has forged and milled parts, except for the stirrup that connects the mainspring to the hammer. That is obviously cast. The 686, on the other hand, is chock full of MEM parts. Now, Smith has been using MEM parts for years, but there are some folks who are adamantly against it. While the 686 has a reputation for being a workhorse, the new Python is a different and perhaps better animal than its predecessor.
Alright, I got my glasses because we're going to get a little bit of blowback perhaps from these steel targets. I got the Python loaded up with some of those Magnum rounds. Let's just see how we do. I'll go ahead and show single action just to show it could be done. Why not? We're at about 10, 12 yards with these steel targets. Can't tell if I hit or I missed. I think I flinched on that one. Oh, I hit it alright. Definitely wants to jump up and slip up as you go, but once you reach a certain point, when you're high on that recoil shield there, or rather where you're high on that hump on the grip, your hand just stays there. It takes a bit of a beating, but you can get those rounds on fairly fast. Let's go ahead and slow down the pace a little bit. Take out my Safariland Comp 2 and 38 special rounds so you can see the difference. Uh-oh. Huh. I bumped the cylinder release. And I'm pretty sure those weren't 38 specials. Those are Federal 357 Magnum, 158 grainers. How did I not spot that? Okay, now we have some 38 specials. For real this time. can get pretty fast with that. It doesn't hurt at all with this all steel gun. Let's try the 686. Okay, I'll be remiss if we didn't end this video with a little bit of dual wielding. Something I've never done before, but let's see how it goes. I'm just gonna do it one at a time. Folks, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.